Hi, this is Mimi Chen for AsAmNews. In some point in my radio career as a DJ, I worked as a country western radio DJ. Yes, I was twanging along with everyone else. And it was common knowledge that country western music was primarily the music for white people, especially in terms of the performers. And it was even more highlighted by the fact that once in a while a listener would call me and say, "Isn't it great that we white people have our own radio station?" Um, Obviously, he couldn't see what I'd look like on the radio. And you would think that the last name Chen would, well, never mind. Anyway, fast forward to modern times, and it's nice to see that there are many different faces gracing the hallways of country western, including this fellow, Travis Yee.
I may not look or sound like you. Go walk a mile in my shoes, and maybe with a little bit of time, you'll see through eyes like mine.
Yes, that's the sound of Travis Yee. So we had to catch up with him at AsAmNews and ask him, where did the country western music come from?
It kind of just, in a way, fell on my lap unexpectedly. No one in my family sings. I've never been inspired to sing until about 8 years ago. And what had happened was I posted a random YouTube video of me singing a random song by Wilson Phillips, kind of like jokingly, but just to see what happens, because everyone has like curious minds of, trying to be YouTube famous or whatever. And I posted a video and people started commenting saying like, "Wow, you sound good," but also, "Oh, it's interesting that you added a country twist to that." Didn't think of anything at that point. But because I was getting compliments of singing, I started taking requests and posting them on Instagram, and people would start sending me pop songs. And then over time, more people started mentioning like, "Oh, I like the twang that you're adding to these pop songs." And so they started requesting country songs. And then I kind of just fell in love with the whole process. And then I started falling in love with country music because of what people were introducing me to. And it just became like a passion, and I've been running with it ever since now.
So you mean you didn't grow up with country western in your veins?
Nope, I'm originally from San Francisco, and we definitely do not listen to country music there.
Not what did you listen to growing up?
I grew up on like pop and R&B, so Earth, Wind and Fire, Temptations, Michael Bolton, Rod Stewart, like those people.
Where do you think the twang came from?
I don't know. Honestly, it just, because even when I sing pop songs, it just kind of happens. Like it just happens. But obviously my talking voice is like nothing Southern with it. So I don't know. And then obviously like as I'm learning country music and listening to it, as I start singing those songs, it kind of just naturally, my voice starts adapting more to country music. Like kind of like if I moved to London, I'm sure I would start building a British accent over time. So I think that's what's slowly happened over time with my voice is it's acclimated to the country tone when singing, but not necessarily when talking. So it's I still don't know what's happening, but it's definitely been fun.
Have you talked to any linguistic experts about that?
No, I kind of like it. I kind of like that it's a mystery. Like I don't want to know, like I kind of just like that that's just like something that happened.
It is. It's a fascinating idea. So what was the kind of reception you got from your family and friends?
Everyone's been just happy with seeing the progress. And once again, like because it was unexpected to me, it is completely unexpected to them too. But seeing kind of how people have responded and the success from it, they're just enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it, because it's also something that they would never do in their lifetime, let alone pursue music or be on a TV show or put themselves out there the way I have. George Jones, Garth Brooks. One of my favorite current artists, almost since like day one, has always been Chris Young. I really like his voice. He also grew up on R&B, so he has a little bit of fun when it comes to like stylizing his country voice to match a little bit of like R&B runs and tones and things like that. So I do like singing a lot of his songs, and I like his style a lot. Yeah, but there's a lot of times where I will go on, say, like streaming or TikTok live, and people will ask, "Hey, can you sing this artist?" And I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Well, who do you think you sound like amongst all the country icons that you've listened to?
Yeah, so I think so. It's interesting because as I started pursuing singing, my voice wasn't molded because of who I listened to. Like, it's something that I just already had. And so as people start sending requests, they're like, hey, your voice sounds a little bit like, for example, George Strait. Can you sing a George Strait song? Or I think your voice would sound really good on this Randy Travis song. And then that's kind of when I start realizing, like, oh, my voice kind of has like familiar tones to this artist or that artist. So it's cool when people are like, I think your voice would blend really well with, this Garth Brooks song, and then I'll do it. And it surprises me too. I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that song, and I didn't think that it would do well. And people are like, yeah, I knew that it would match your voice.
Do you have a favorite song now that you like to sing?
Oh, my all-time favorite song is Friends in Low Places.
But that's a Hank Williams Jr. song, is that?
No, Garth Brooks song too.
Oh, Garth Brooks, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But his songs and like Josh Turner, like I probably sang that the most on TikTok, Your Man, Baby Lock the Door, that song. And then just I know every single Chris Young song. So if anybody is like, sing a Chris Young song, like that's my go-to guy for sure.
Got it. So if we see you live streaming, it's like, sing some Chris Young.
Please, yes. That's like please request that. Yes, I would love it.
So when do you usually live stream? You're doing any live streaming on TikTok or YouTube?
I don't have a schedule, so it's kind of just spur of the moment for sure. I used to, maybe like a year ago, I used to go on every single day, but I didn't have like a time limit. And so my voice actually just got very tired very quickly over time, because I would spend 2, 3, 4 hours singing.
Oh, that's a time.
Yeah. And so the last few times that I've gone live, I've just made it very clear in my mind, even if new people are coming in or making requests, like I got to stop right at 30 minutes. Like I got to do that for myself, because I want to keep it fun. But after a while, it sometimes drains you, especially like after a day of work or whatever. So I want to do it more consistently, at least once a week, but I got to find like the right day, the right time, and make sure that I can commit to it. But it is fun. It is fun doing it. And it's good practice for myself too, just to, consistently sing and do requests on the spot, which is fun. Yeah.
Of course, it's also a great way to get more fans too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think? Are the fans nice? Have you gotten a lot of feedback from people? Are there people saying, why are you doing country?
Yeah. So in my mind, surprisingly, 99.9% of people have been very supportive and very surprised and very encouraging. Like, yeah, like do that, like be you, like change the game of like what a typical country artist looks like, all that kind of stuff. And so that helps motivate me even more to keep pursuing it, because it's like, I'm making people happy. I'm also opening up people that are scared to like sing something or do something where they may not get the best response because of how they look. And so I think that's cool to like help inspire people that like, it's okay. Like I have fun doing it, so you should have fun doing it too. And then when it comes to haters or, trolls, like that's going to happen no matter what, right? Even in a day-to-day job, you're going to have customers that complain, even if you're doing your job 100% right. Can't please everybody. But the way I look at it too is I outweigh, like, there's way more support than there are negative comments. And so like the negative comments, I'm not here to please them. And so like, to me, it's entertaining when people make comments, even if they're inappropriate. I just kind of roll with it and just like, okay, cool. Like they're just having a bad day or whatever, but it literally does not bother me whatsoever. and I don't change what I do just because of those, few comments or people that are trying to look for a reaction, I guess you can say.
So you've got a great attitude with the trolls. I mean, it's one thing, especially when it comes to people's mental health, they let it affect themselves too much.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned work. What do you do for work? Is this where you're able to deal with trolls too?
No. So I have a very good job. I am what's the right word? Well, I'm a customer success manager for a text message marketing company, basically. So I work with e-commerce brands in helping them strategize their marketing efforts when it comes to text message. And I grew up doing e-commerce and web design, and I love technology. So like it's for me, as far as like a job to make income, it's a perfect job for me. I love doing it.
And it sounds like you can do it virtually. So if you just do a little tour or something, you can continue working.
Yeah. It's been nice, like just being able to like travel and do stuff, and I don't have to be sitting in an office or clocking at a certain time. So it's definitely very flexible. And I feel like, like nowadays, especially since the pandemic, there's a lot more companies that are opening up those kind of roles to accommodate people that can't be, able to go directly into an office locally or whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely helped me have more time also to like grow my craft and because I don't have to like commute, so like that's nice.
Right. So is there any plans to do a Travis Yee band?
I don't know, like it's never come to mind, like not even pending wise. So but maybe if there's an opportunity or someone's like, hey, you'd be great for this or whatever, like I would definitely be open-minded to it. But right now it's still just solo Travis.
Is solo Travis meaning sort of like a karaoke style?
That, or just one man band. I think it'd be cool to have accompaniment when it comes to instruments, because I'm not the best. Like I can play basic guitar and the basic piano, but more so just to do covers or write music. But if I were to perform, the guitar or the piano would distract me because I'd be overthinking if I'm doing it right and stuff, and I wouldn't be able to focus on singing. So in that sense, having a band would be beneficial, because then I don't have to worry about the music part of it.
Right. I always admire people who can do several things at the same time. They're singing and playing drums, and I'm like going, that sounds to me like the, pat the head, and it's like that's hard.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people that are good at for example, like in this industry with instruments, they've been doing it for, they've given the 30,000 hours, the 10,000 hours to be able to do it. I haven't given 10,000 hours to guitar or piano. So like, I'm sure if I put in that time, I could get to it. But I also think like as we get older, our time is a lot limited or focused on so many other things. Whereas like in high school, when you're done with school, you have no responsibilities. You can do whatever you want. And so there's just, even though we all have still 24 hours in a day, there's definitely less time.
Oh, I hear you. I'm totally with you there. I'm just amazed you're able to add, other things to work and travel and just life in general. So is there any plans for, Travis to get some of his original material out? Have you done a lot of that yet?
Yeah, so right now just 3 songs within the last like year and a half. I definitely need to put some more time into writing more songs. I have a bunch of songs that are finished, but just they're finished as far as like a draft or a really rough copy, but not so much like full production, things like that. So that's definitely like in the next month or two to get a couple more songs completed for sure, because that's the only way that people are going to really know me for me rather than doing covers. So thanks for calling me out on that, because I definitely need to prioritize that for sure.
Well, a lot of singer-songwriters, they work with producers who put the tracks together for them. So is that going to be something you're going to do?
Yeah, but I think it'd be different if I lived in Nashville, or had a bigger network of people that I could ask for a helping hand. So I would definitely have to seek out people to help with further projects and whatnot. I don't think it'll be difficult, but there's just not that initial relationship set up, and so hopefully making the song and stuff like that, we don't we both have the same idea in mind as far as like what I think I want and what they think they know I want, because it's also sometimes hard like explaining what you want if you can't like replicate it with a piano or with a guitar.
Right. Well,
so it'll be interesting.
San Francisco is actually quite a hotbed for music making. I don't think you should have any problems finding someone or people to work with.
Yeah. I know one thing is like, when it comes to like fiddle, aka violin, or banjos, like that's very specific to maybe Texas or Tennessee, in finding things if I want to incorporate those instruments in my music. But other than that, like, yeah, basic production of like drums and bass and guitar and piano and stuff like that. I know for the most part I can find anyone, but for the next song, I really want to find somebody that has worked with a lot of country music, because they just know, they know what sound it should be like, and there's not too much experimenting. Whereas if like, say for example, like LA or San Francisco producers for the most part specialize in maybe like pop or rap, and they take on a project, but it may be a very trial and error experiment for them. Yeah.
So where do you think where's Travis Yee going to be in the future? Are you going to continue with the text work? Do you think maybe you want to like leave the tech work behind and go music full time? What do you think in terms of future plans, or you're just going to have fun?
I'm definitely having fun. I would love music to be a full-time thing. And I think it's one of those things where I kind of like limit myself, just because I think of like I'm so late in the game, or I don't have enough experience, or, and these are, I think everyone has their own hesitations with anything, right? Like everyone creates these old roadblocks and whatnot. And it's just, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. Like, who cares, right? But I would love to, I think the next step, as far as like baby steps go, is just release more music, and kind of figure out the right voice and because all my last 3 songs are all a little bit different. And so I need to figure out what works for me. Like, what do I enjoy doing, but also what my fans enjoy from me, to like really promote myself initially as like a new artist. And then I think once I have that, I can't think of words, like once they resonate with like that kind of music, then I think it'll be a lot easier to also like stretch a little bit more and try new things and whatnot, because they trust me at that point. But right now I think, and this is just me thinking out loud, I don't know if it's like best for me to test out different types of country styles right now, because I may lose people's attention if they're like looking at me like, well, he doesn't know what he's doing. So I don't know. I'm still figuring it out.
I talked to a lot of artists, and I don't think any artist really knows what they're doing. I think it's whatever feels right for you, Yeah. Just do what feels right for you, and if you enjoy it, it'll come through on the music, and even if it's like a 360 from what you did before, it's you'd be surprised how willing fans are when it comes to an artist just deciding to be more artistic in some ways. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree with that. The biggest thing I think is get out of my head and just take action and just do it, and learn from mistakes, right? Learn from the past.
Right. It's like that Nike thing. Just do it.
Literally, just do it. Yeah. No, yeah. Don't let anything get in your way. Just be yourself and do it.
Well, that's apparently it's working for you, you know, the TikTok and getting on these TV shows. What was the
Right.
TV show experience like?
That was definitely life-changing. That was the first time I ever performed in front of anybody.
Whoa.
Yes. So naturally, I am comfortable at just posting videos online, right? And so I have no problem performing in front of a camera. But what's new to me is performing in front of people, where there's actually people looking at you, moving, making noise, judging you. And so the TV show, we filmed it in July of 2020, and my episode aired December of 2020. We were there for 10 days, and a lot of it was just going from no experience to, after 10 days, being very confident with just being confident, and having producers and showrunners and assistants just like reassuring you, like, hey, you wouldn't be on this TV show if you weren't good. So like, you know, that's already like one thing to consider, is like, I got to get out of my head that like I'm not the best singer or whatever, because like they obviously saw something in me to put me on a national TV show, which is probably like a great compliment, right? And then just working with voice, what are they called? Voice teachers, coaches, yeah. And choreographers, and just like stage presence and things like that, I think really helped open up. And it was an opportunity where I wasn't going to run away from it. So it definitely put my head in the game and like put in the work, because this is a once in a lifetime type of opportunity. So like, don't mess it up.
Wow. And what
Sorry?
show was it?
It's called I Can See Your Voice on Fox. And you can watch it on Hulu.
Oh, fantastic. I think
Yeah. But yeah, definitely fun and exciting, and cool just to see like how production in TV shows run behind the scenes and everything. It's really cool.
Definitely the crash course in how to be a singer.
100%.
Good for you. That sounds like the exciting life of Travis Yee.
Yes, and because of that too, I'm ready for more. Like like to me, it was so fun. It was long days, but it was just so fun. So.
Well, I think you probably should have no problems getting on some other kind of show or festival. Maybe it's time you seek out a manager and get them to work for you.
Yeah, I'm like cheap though.
Well, managers don't get paid unless you get paid.
Oh, okay, then I'll hire somebody.
Well, that is so fantastic. It's encouraging to know that, you know, you're getting out there. You're definitely changing the face of country western, because it's well, as we all know, you know, even the first Black person, I think it was Charlie Pride, when he released his album, the record company was not willing to put his picture on that because they didn't want people to have preconceived notions. So, you know, things are changing.
Things are changing, and hopefully people are more open and open-minded to music is music, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a bridge for all kinds of people, we hope.
Absolutely. Cross our fingers.
Well, thank you so much, Travis. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mimi, for having me. I really do appreciate it.
For AsAmNews, I'm Mimi Chen.